Hi everyone and welcome to She Rides, the podcast where women's cycling takes the lead. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Christoph, and today we're diving into the latest race results and hot topics in women's cycling.
And we have two guests joining us to share their story. Let's get started. Ready? Hi everyone and welcome to episode 51 of She Rides. It's a bit of an atypical episode. After last week's non-guest episode, we have double trouble on the podcast. And while we were thinking, when you think cycling and winter, a lot of us would immediately think of cyclocross, and that's the main thing I think we're focusing on. But meanwhile, we also have quite some track racing going on in Copenhagen, London, again soon. So why not put a spotlight on that? We have, for later on this episode, Julie making her return on the podcast, and she's like really doing a lot of events, which will be nice. And we have another guest who her event last weekend didn't end super great, but she will definitely be able to talk about lots of interesting stuff. Hi, Ida.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're super happy to have you on. But maybe before we really get into the questions, can you introduce yourself to the listeners?
Yeah, why not? So, my name is Ida. I'm 19 years old and from Denmark. And then I'm riding for the British Continental Team, Team CJ O'Shea, which for next year will be known as Team Red Chili Bikes O'Shea. It's still new, but it's super exciting. So, yeah, I think that's it. And then, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to know more?
We should just say to all the listeners, because when we spoke last summer, we should warn them, she's probably the most boring guest ever, because that's what she said if I asked her if she wanted to be a guest. She was like, oh, I would love to, but I'm too boring. So
you was like, do you want to join? And I was like, I mean, I listen to lots of podcasts, so I love podcasts, but I was like, I'm not really interesting, so I don't know what to talk about. But now you have the warning, and if it's going to be boring, you can just jump to later on in the episode.
Let's let the public decide. What do you think? Give the people what they want.
Let's do that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Good. That's fine. So yeah, let's get started with your cycling journey, Ida. You came from the famous junior team, Team Rutger, Team Rutger Col Ras, is it known today? So the Danish development junior team there. How did your time there with the team prepare you for actual continental racing today? And is there a piece of advice that you learned back then that you still use today in your career?
For sure. I mean, just like taking this step from under 17 and into the junior ranks was quite a big step, because in Denmark it's not like in Belgium or the Netherlands, where like you're a big bunch of people riding together. Like we are just a few girls here, so just get into that international racing in all the Nations Cup was quite crazy, but also something that I really learned a lot from. All the positioning and just the high international level was something that was really new to me, but something I learned a lot from. But I will also say it was such a big shift for me that, suddenly I was traveling around Europe and still had to combine it with school and stuff like that. So it was also quite stressful. But yeah, I mean, the junior time really prepared me to take the next step in my career. So something I'm really, really grateful for, because there was lots of good people who worked there to help us and prepare us in the best possible way. So yeah.
And what did it feel like to wear the Danish junior national champion jersey for the first time?
It was crazy, yeah. It was quite unexpected. So just to win it as a first year was pretty crazy, and to be able to ride around it and the whole year was really, really cool. And right now, sometimes I still forget that I was actually national champion. Like I've been riding around with the flag on my body. It's pretty cool. So yeah, it's something I'm proud of.
And did becoming that national champion change your approach to training or racing the following season, or were you already very, very dedicated and very professional at your age in attacking a sport?
I would say I was quite focused about it. But to get that jersey was really maybe it changed something mentally, because at the Nation Cups you are then able to stand in the first row and like with all the other champions, and just starting there gave me some sort of, it helped me to be like, okay, I need to be here, and I can be proud of it, and I want to be a part of the race. So maybe it changed something mentally, but I think I was still really dedicated before getting the jersey. So yeah, it's really cool. Yeah.
And then what elements of the Danish cycling culture, because the Danish cycling culture, especially on track, is pretty famous these days. Or the local development programs there, how do they best support the young riders like you there?
Yeah, I mean, like, we have a really good really good culture already from the club level. Like, when I started cycling, I got into a cycling club, and people really took good hand of me. And then we have some good teams where you can like take the steps up, step by step. So I think that might be good. And but especially on the men's side, the women's side still, like, we have Team Rutger, and then we have had a few other teams, but they are closing down quite fast. So like maybe we need a little more support on the women's side. But yeah, we have quite a good program who will like to support all the riders. And I think we're doing it in a good way. They also want the riders to be happy and to have a nice life besides cycling. So yeah, I think they're doing it in a really good way. Yeah.
Well, that's very nice. That from Danish cycling support to another kind of support. What attracted you to say to CJ O'Shea Racing, known as the best team, obviously, if you're looking
Exactly.
into their transfers for sure.
Yeah.
What attracted you to start racing for them?
Actually, to be honest, as I said, like, the Danish scene, not to take anything away from the races in Denmark, because there are really good riders here, but it is just something else to race internationally. And that was something that really like catch my attention. I think it was super cool in the juniors, so I wanted to continue doing that. And I think it was the right way for me to like develop and become an even better cyclist. And then, to be honest, I was just looking around, trying to find a nice team, and my junior teams had a bit of contact with O'Shea, and then Pat responded to me, which I was super happy about, because in these days it is so hard to find a team. So to find a team that actually wanted to take me in and support a young Danish girl was something I was really grateful for, and I'm still really grateful for. So their international racing program and just in general, what I could see from the outside, like their environment and the way they took care of the riders, and in between the riders, like the way to be together was something that catch my attention. Yeah, and it hasn't. I've been super happy since I joined the team. So it was as good from the inside as from the outside. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
And did you like have kind of a main goal for your first season with the team?
Yeah, I would say I didn't really know what to expect, because suddenly there was just so many new things, you know? It was a longer distance, different riders. Suddenly it was the riders you watch on TV you were going to ride like close to. So actually it was just about getting into the bunch and getting into a new team. There's so many changes. So just trying to sort of get into it and to get to know everyone and get to know the dynamics in the race was my main goal. Because I actually didn't know what to expect. So yeah, I think that's been pretty cool. It's a nice season. I've learned so much this year. So I think my main goal has been just to be there and to learn a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you just mentioned it, like you go from just racing to like racing against like the riders you used to watch on TV. What's like the biggest difference apart from the level? What are some of the biggest differences there?
Yeah, I would say everything is just more professional. You know, when you get to the start, there are big buses and like you can almost watch your race on television every time and stuff like that. So that has been quite a big challenge. No, not a challenge, but it's just been a change. But I would say the biggest challenge for me was the distance. Like, after the first 2 hours of the first races, I was just dead, because that was where the junior races was used to stop. I was super good for the first couple of hours, and then I just died. So I think that might be the biggest change. And then maybe just, you know, you have to be better as a team, to work more together as a team, because you need to do that on that level in order to just be able to be in the race in some way. So lots of changes, but in a good way, yeah. But
So-
also, as you said, with the big stars. It's just like, yeah, lots of good riders and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So after
Yeah.
2 hours of racing, you were already like, are we there yet? And then I'm like, no
Exactly.
way, kiddo, we just halfway.
We're not even halfway through the race. My teammates was like, "Oh, you did such a good job in the start, but then you just dropped down." I was like, "No, but I just couldn't." But yeah, I think it was better in the end of the season because I got more used to it. But
Mhm.
yeah.
So there's still some room for improvement. But
Exactly.
from all the races you did last year, do you have like a proudest moment or like something you're the most proud of?
I don't know. I was actually just proud of myself, the fact of traveling around the world in a young age and get to know all these new people. But I would say for sure my first World Tour race was at Copenhagen Sprint here in Denmark. We started in the city I actually was born into and ending in the capital of my country. That was pretty special to be there and all the people cheering for me. It was really like, wow, it was a dream coming true. And to have my team here with me close to where I live and all my training routes and stuff like that really makes me proud. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Something I look back to really proud and something I really like to think about.
That's quite a big moment as well. We can get into them.
It
Should be.
Yeah.
Let's transfer to some actual pretty impactful rule changes the UCI has decided for 2026. How has the introduction of the women's pro team level affected your team's calendar and goal, especially from 2026 onwards?
Yeah, I know that. Actually, I've not looked so much into it, but I know that it's gonna be a rule where the continental teams are not able to do the world tour races anymore. And I feel like I can see there are some good things about it because you need to make the races more safe. But I feel like the riders who are on a continental level now are also good riders. It's not like back in the days. And at the same time, you just make the difference between a continental level and a pro team or world tour team even bigger. I would say it's some of the things that I really enjoyed, that I could do races on all levels. And you take that away from the continental teams. So I think that's sort of a shame to do that because we need to develop the young riders. Not all of us can just go straight to World Tour. So to have those experiences is really nice for a rider for me and some of and some of my teammates. So yeah, I think it's a shame. Yeah,
I think just the peloton, it's a good rule, but it comes 3, 4, 5 seasons too early, I think. The women's peloton is not yet developed that much that you can just install that kind of rule. And the other consequence is like exactly like sponsorship money is gonna dry up for Conti teams because there's no way you will ride the Tour de France Femme and not even any other World Tour classics. Like they're gonna say like, why should we sponsor a team? So that's the biggest danger, I think.
exactly.
But anyway, it's Ida's podcast.
We've talked
No,
about
that's
it
true.
so much.
No, I mean, but yeah, it's so true because it's already a problem on the continental scene that teams are falling, and I talked with Pat, who is one of the general manager of our team, and he was like, a race like Tour of Britain is a huge thing for the team and for sponsors and stuff, and now we're not able to be there. There's not gonna be a single British team on the start line of Tour of Britain. So yeah, of course there's pros and cons with everything, but I think there's a few cons here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to kill British cycling anyway, Ida. So
Yeah, true.
they're
true.
doing a good job.
Exactly, they're doing a really good job at
Yeah.
the moment. Yeah. No, it's bad.
So and then how is the team reacting, Ida, about no more World Tour races?
Yeah,
First of all, Tour of Britain is a big
it is. I think so.
big bad
Especially
news for the team, but yeah,
Yeah.
other classics as well. I can suppose.
Exactly. Especially for some of the British girls, like in connection to the Tour of Britain, it's something they watch since they were really small and now they're not able to do it. Maybe later on in their career, but it's some of those moments that are really cool to get into and get valuable experience. It was also like we get invited to go to China to do the World Tour races. We ended up not going, but it was like one of those moments we were like, it's maybe the last World Tour race we're able to do, so we're just gonna chase them. So I think people are yeah, I think they think it's a bad news. But on the other hand, we didn't have so many World Tour races on our calendar. So the main development for us is on the 1.1 and 1.2 races and pro races. So it's not going to change our calendar so much, but it's just, yeah, some of the things. I think it's a shame, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it's pretty important for the Conti teams indeed to help you grow on 1.2, 1.1 level. But every now and then a World Tour race, it's good for the sponsors. I
Exactly.
just think it is.
It
That
is, for sure.
does it in any way influence your own career planning, Ida? Are you like, what should I do here? Am I stuck on Conti level? I mean, there might, yeah, but there might pop
Yeah,
different
for
things up in
sure.
your mind as a young rider. I can
Yeah,
imagine.
for sure. I feel like, as you said, it was one of those events which was really where you feel like you could still step up and grow from those things. But at the same time, I'm just finished my first year in the elite category, and I feel like even on the races and the lower levels, there's still plenty of things that I can improve. So I'll focus on that. But of course, later in my career, I want to get up and I want to do some of those bigger races. So in order to do that, I need to, yeah, to get to the higher teams. But yeah, for now I'm just sort of like trying to focus on the things that I can control in the races I have on my program and try to learn and perform in these races. So yeah, I just try to keep focused on what I can do.
And
Yeah.
as a young rider, Ida, does this new rule change make your path as a young rider clearer to the top, or more messed up or harder, do you think? Because I
Mm,
can imagine now the path is pretty clear. Like, okay, there's a good developing structure for the Conti, and then I can step up the World Tour. I'm not thrown into the World Tour as from the beginning. So it
yeah,
might have some advantages, but
for
let's ask a young
sure.
rider like you how you look at it.
Yeah, I mean, it's, yeah, you can step up from the country team then, but you're not able to prove yourself on those level. And I also think there will be more World Tour races next year. So maybe some of the World Tour riders is not gonna do the lower category races anymore. So you can't really prove yourself there either. So I don't know. But at the same time, I would also say sometimes it's also just the name. Of course, there are more spectators and more things around a World Tour race or a pro race, but often it is the same riders, even though it's a pro race or a 1.2 race. So like, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a mix. I think it's gonna be the same, but also because as I was talking into before, the Conti scene at the moment is really struggling. So if you're just gonna kill them, you don't really have a way to develop. So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be, I think only like the future can tell us what's gonna happen because it's hard to say at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, it still remains pretty messed up with the UCI points that the World Tour teams need to score as well. Because you could say like, okay, then we step up this level with the Pro Tours, with the Pro Team level, but then have the decency as a World Tour level, not at least not to line up your strongest squads in the 1.1 races to give the Conti teams and a chance to develop. But of course, there are UCI points at play, so they will never do that. And then, so
Exactly.
yeah, it's all about development, they say, but I'm not pretty sure it is. But like you
No.
say, we'll see.
It's, yeah. We will see what's gonna happen in the future.
Yeah,
But
so and we can all have an opinion about the new rule change, but what do you think? What changes would you suggest to help better support development teams like CJ O'Shea or
yeah.
whatnots you have more left?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's hard because if I had the perfect solution, I think I would have said it out loud before. But from my perspective, I think it is a huge step to go straight from the juniors and into the elite category. So you need to like find a way where riders who are not able to go straight to a professional contract can develop in a better way if they need to have Nations Cups or stuff like that, like on the men's side or whatever you're gonna do. But we need to find a way where we can support young riders and also riders on continental teams. How to do that, I don't know actually. But yeah, I don't know. But you need to find a way to especially take care of the younger riders to find a way where they can grow for the continental team. Just trying not to make rules like they have done with the World Tour rule that will kill them. At least that would be a good start, I think.
Yeah. So hey, and then let's focus a little bit on you, Ida, as the athlete here. What routine or strategy helps you balance elite racing with your academic commitments? Because I can imagine that's not always easy to juggle all those things at the same time.
No, I mean, like I've said before, I feel sometimes like Hannah Montana. At one point, you are racing on the highest level, and the other day you're back in school listening to a boring teacher. I mean, but
He's
so it
listening.
is super hard. Yeah, and especially it is that change that is super hard to get from highs to lows all the time, and to sort of balance that emotional level inside of you. But I think trying to make a plan for me has been good, and then to reach out to the people I have around me is really a big thing about it. Sometimes you feel like you don't really want to say it out loud because then maybe you're weak or something like that. But it is just to talk to your teachers, your family, and people around you who can help you plan and maybe sometimes take some of that pressure off your shoulders. But it is hard, yeah. And sometimes I manage to do it and sometimes I don't. I feel like it's a really thin line, you know, between everything is perfect, just going, it's all good, and then just like, I don't know, almost breaking down because it's too much. But yeah, I feel like I got good support, and in Denmark we have this possibility where you can take the high school in 4 years instead of 3 years. So like I have more time to combine it with racing and traveling and training and stuff like that. So that has helped me a lot. But yeah.
Yeah. I can imagine. And you come back to school and you're like, oh my God, I rode the World Tour race. And then the teacher's like, yes, but what about your chemistry class? Oh, yeah, sure.
Exactly. It's like,
back to square one.
The day after Copenhagen sprint, I remember I was with my mom out like picking strawberries and stuff like that. I was just like, what just happened? Like I was doing that yesterday and now I'm just standing right here. So it is really highs and lows all the time, and you need to sort of try to balance that.
Yeah.
Yeah, also because they don't understand it, so they're just mad at me, and I'm like, I'm doing my very best, but it's never good enough because I have to perform at so many places. But I'm doing my best, to be honest.
Yeah. We're pretty sure you do. So hey, and then what does define your generation, the new generation of young women cyclists, compared to riders 10 or 15 years ago? Do you think?
Yeah, it's hard because I'm just living now, but I would say it is way more professional at the moment. Like we have junior riders who are doing heat training, who are going to altitude, who is really having an exact plan of what they're eating and stuff like that. And I think that has really changed. I mean, the whole cycling world is more professional, but that also gets down to the junior ranks and to the young riders. So a lot of that have changed, and just in general, as I was talking about before, it is more professional. Like the teams are more professional, and people are going straight from the juniors to the elite. And people who are not able to do that feel like they are a failure because they don't manage to do that. So I think if you told someone 10, 15 years ago that people are going straight from the junior ranks to World Tour, I think they will look at you like you're an idiot, to be honest, because it doesn't happen at that time. So that might be one of the biggest change, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you just talked about the growing professionalism, even at younger age, at your age. How do you keep that balance actually with the sport, with keeping the joy and passion for cycling, and not get completely lost in that completely like narrow-minded professional track, like eat this, do this, do this, do this. Like
exactly. And I actually think it's something that is still trying to find the perfect balance, because in my opinion, I still think there are some juniors who are really, really professional and they don't really have anything to improve on when they're getting into the elite, because they are already on such a high level on all the different things. So actually, I think it is sometimes unbalanced. And I think I also see young girls who really like trying to optimize on all the things they can do. In a way, I sometimes think it's too much. Like you're just a junior rider or a really young rider, also like myself, and you still need to just enjoy riding your bike. I mean, like at this moment we're just doing it because we still think it's fun and not for a bigger thing than that. So I think it is really important to remember, and it's really important for the people who are running the national teams, who are running the junior teams, to really remember the young girls, because for them, I can talk for myself. My junior years was amazing. I mean, like, they really supported me in a good way, but they also want to have results, like, and perform, because when you're there, you feel like it's the most important. So someone also needs to maybe take off the pressure of the young girl's shoulders and say, you also have a life if things don't go straight away, and it's okay if you just learn from this race and not necessarily perform a top result, because that's actually not why you're here. So yeah, I think it's super hard to find the right balance. Yeah.
Yeah, you're totally right. It should be fun as a junior rider. I mean, come on, that's first and foremost. It should be fun, because it's something you like to do
Yeah. Yeah,
in the
exactly.
first place. Yeah,
It's their passion. Like,
and
it's our
then
passion, so yeah.
yeah, and then we should just take care that we're not copy pasting women's cycling and then just compare it to the men's cycling, where you have like the male peak can already be at 19, 20 years, where they're fresh and ready for big growth. But like recent studies show, for example, that the women's big boost of growth is only at 25, 26. So
Yeah.
maybe we
Yeah, I
should
mean,
not chase so much junior level cycling at the women's level instead of the men's level, because
exactly.
keep it
And I
fun and
mean,
let them
like,
grow.
yeah,
It will come.
the young girls, we're still like growing, we're still developing. Also just our bodies, and if people already start talking about, you know, their weight or what they have to eat and stuff like that, they don't give the body the, like, they don't give it the best opportunity to develop in the best possible way. So I think you really need to be careful, because of course you want to perform. And I see lots of young girls who are really stressed out because they need to do all these good things and they want to be on a high level. And if they don't perform, they will not end up on the team they really want to be on. And then they don't get into the dream they're dreaming about and stuff like that. So I think there's so much pressure on the young girls, and they just have to, like, we just have to enjoy riding our bikes instead of thinking about all these things. So yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything, just have fun doing it. Just have fun riding your bike. That's all you should do.
Exactly. And I feel like with myself, when I take some of the pressure off, I'm performing way better. When I'm just having fun, being together with, surrounded by good people, and just going out there and performing my very best, I am at my best possible level. So I think, especially with young girls, you need to think about that, because maybe they don't perform when they get told off, but instead of, like, just creating a nice environment for them, I think that might be the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Good. Good take, Ida.
Thanks.
And then what is your ideal progression for yourself over the next 3 to 5 years? How do you see yourself evolve? Of course, let's just dream that everything goes as it should go.
Exactly. Yeah, it's always hard to sit here and be like, oh, I want to do that and that. But of course, I have a dream about becoming a professional cyclist and one day go world tour. But I'm also really aware of doing it in my own pace and where I really, like, can follow up and develop in a good way. So, like, now I'm taking another year here on the continental level, and then I will see how I react and how I perform in the races, and maybe it's time to take a step up, or maybe it's time to take another year on continental level. I don't know, but of course it's my dream to become professional one day. But I'm also aware of the pressure on the world tour teams and professional teams, and it is not just for fun at that moment. It's at that level, it's also business. So of course it's my dream, but it's also need to be in the right steps. So right now I just try to make small goals, to work, to hopefully one day become a professional rider. So yeah, that's it.
Mhm. But never
That's
forget,
the
Ida,
dream.
it's all about having fun, because every World Tour rider, and
Exactly.
we had some quite famous ones already. That's what she says. They all say the same thing, like keep having fun in what you do.
Keep out. Exactly.
Even
I
even if
mean, yeah,
even it
I'm
becomes a
quite
job
aware.
and it becomes very result oriented and it becomes important for the teams to get results and then get UCI points, they all say the same thing, like have fun doing it.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can't, like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's also your life. You know, being an athlete is a lifestyle, and if you don't enjoy it, why then do it? So yeah,
Mhm.
it's just about having
Yeah.
fun. I'm
And
aware it can't be fun every
yes,
time. I mean, there are also long, boring
no,
rides, but most of the time it
that's what you
has to
get paid
be
for, to do
fun.
boring stuff.
Exactly, to do your job. Yeah, it's good.
Is there a specific rider type or skill that you're most focused on developing right now?
Actually, I think it's so hard because I don't know if it's because I'm still young or what's going on, because I feel like in the past year, people have both told me that I could be a sprinter and a climber. And I'm like, I think the reality is somewhere in between because I'm a quite small rider, but sometimes I can also finish it off okay. So yeah, I think I'm just trying to develop myself in the best possible way, and then I will give it some time and see which type of rider I will end up being. But it's hard to define, I think. Yeah, we will see how it all ends because
Yeah. Well, that's
yeah.
exciting to see. Now we can go over to a quite flat discipline, although the corners are a little bit uphill sometimes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as planned, we were actually gonna talk a bit about winter track season. That's what the complete episode will be focused around. So, yeah, maybe you can tell us a bit about yeah, your not really weekend, but like the last couple of days.
Yeah, for sure. Um, Actually, I've done quite a lot of track when I was growing up as a cyclist, and really enjoy that. But for the last couple of years, I've decided to take a break off just to focus on the road because I think that was the most fun. But then someone asked me to do the 3 days race in Copenhagen, and I was like, that's the best idea of my life. Why not make a comeback to track cycling? But yeah, on the first day of the race and the first race, I got a quite bad asthma attack. I think the air inside the velodrome is pretty bad for my breathing. So yeah, the rest of that day I just tried to catch my breath again, and we decided that I shouldn't continue because it wasn't good for my health. So yeah, that was a really short comeback, but even though that feels really disappointing, I still love the discipline of track, especially because I spent lots of time on the track as a young girl. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's cool.
Yeah, so for the very short time, let's say you've raced the 3 days of Copenhagen. What is it
Mm.
like to race an event like that?
It is really cool. I like it because I've done it before also in the past years. And the atmosphere in there is so cool because it's like sort of a mix of a really high performance and competition, but also just like a party, and everyone is super happy, and that's what I like about track cycling and why I also want to get back in, because there's such a nice atmosphere and everybody meets each other, and yeah, it's just so cool. Also because everyone has been working really hard on the road. So just to get in there, get some speed in the legs, and yeah, to do some fun racing. It's really
Mm-hmm.
cool, and yeah. When it's in Copenhagen, it's even more exciting because that's where I grew up, and that people are coming to my place is super cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And what does like a typical race day or evening look like at one of these track events?
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, tricky because these events are so late in the evening. You know, they
Mm-hmm.
start around six in the evening and finish around midnight. So it is like sort of just trying to sleep as long as possible, really get recovered, and then maybe eat well and do a pre-race early in the day just to like to prepare your body for what's going to happen later on. And otherwise, just relax and then get in there to a meeting and get some information about the race, and then just get starting.
Yeah, how does a track event like differ physically and mentally from like road racing?
Yeah, I feel like I've always myself been better on the road than on the track, because on the track it's often like small events, like it's not such a long time, so you need to be really
Mm-hmm.
powerful in a short period of time, and a lot of time, you know, it's such a high heart rate for maybe if it's a long race like 25-30 minutes, but otherwise it's lots of sprinting and it's really high intensity, so you really need to be there when you're there. You don't have like 3-4 hours to like get into the mood and really feeling the atmosphere, because you need to be there at the very first, otherwise you're not going to perform well. But so yeah, I think it's really good, like the two disciplines balance each other really nice, because what you don't have on the road you maybe have more on the track, but it is really different even though both of them is cycling. Yeah.
Yeah. And you already mentioned that like you love the atmosphere at track races. So what do you enjoy most about it?
I think it is actually the atmosphere and all the people who are getting together. But yeah, I also just like, you know, when you're really having a nice day where it's such a high speed, and if you, for instance, doing medicine, everything is just working with your changes and stuff like that. I really like that. You get closer to the spectators than you normally do on the road. So yeah, it's super cool. It's sometimes, especially with these 3 days, 6 days races, it's more for show, even though it is a real competition. But I really like that. I like that atmosphere and the way to show our sport to more people.
Yeah, that's very nice. And
it is.
around this sport, are you taking anything away from your short time at the 3 days of Copenhagen?
To be honest, it might be that I need to take another break from track cycling because that didn't work for me. But also, actually, a disappointment because I really enjoyed being there. I enjoyed seeing all those people again and coaches from when I was small and stuff like that. So now I know that maybe track cycling is not for me, but I will still come and watch in the coming years and get to say hello to all of the people that I met for the years. So yeah, I think that might be it.
Well, just a couple of more questions, and then we're done. So a more general question again: do you have a favorite race on the calendar, or a race you would love to race? Is also fine.
Race I would love to race. There's a lot. I don't know, actually. Of course, I've been thinking about it. I don't know. I've done the Worlds 2 times as a junior, and that was pretty special. It's just something else. And to be able to one day do that as an elite rider could be super cool. It's like a championship. It's just something else. Also because I love the atmosphere when you get into the national team camp where you're talking with all the riders and stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm just super excited about a lot of races. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get a favorite race in the future. But for sure, Worlds could be cool. Yeah.
And last one: what's the most challenging part of being a professional cyclist that fans rarely see?
Oh, I don't know. I think it is actually, it's lots of fun and stuff like that. But sometimes it is also mentally hard if you're not into a period where everything just works for you. Sort of deal with everything when things doesn't go as you hope. Also because the weird thing as a cyclist is you lose so much more than you actually win. And you're not better than your last race, to be honest. Or sometimes it feels like that. So even though you've done such a good spring and then you just have maybe a bad race, it feels really hard, and to get over that can sometimes be challenging. And yeah, maybe from people outside of the sport, they don't know how much time you put into it and how much of a lifestyle it is at some points. So I think that might be the biggest surprise for people. Yeah. But yeah, I think elite sport in general is just tough. In more ways, it's super nice, but it can also be hard. And I think it's the same with cycling. Yeah.
That's nice. That's kind of a wrap then for
It's a
Ida.
wrap.
So yeah, it's a wrap.
That's cool.
You're already done. It's you see, folks, it's probably the most boring guest we ever had on the show.
I am so boring. No, it's been nice. It's been good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
think you did pretty decent, Ida.
Oh, that's
No
good.
worries about that.
Let's hope people isn't asleep at the moment. That could be pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, we see it on our listeners' numbers. How
It's
cool
just
it
gonna
was.
go down.
We can see till which point of the episode most people are listening, and then when it drops down. So we will keep you posted on that.
No, I don't want to know that.
So not like we will see.
Yeah, sure. Nah, but it's been fun. So
Yeah, no, I think
Yeah.
Sarah and me can both agree. Is you were a great guest, Ida. It was
oh, thank you.
completely fun to have you on the show. That
That's
you have
good.
the right mindset, you have the right ideas about your career and
Yeah.
cycling,
And just a good vibe as well.
and a good
Thank
vibe.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. A good vibe. That's important.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So yeah, that's all what's left for us is just wishing you lots of luck with Red Chili Bikes
Team
O'Shea.
Red Chili Bikes.
Yeah,
O'Shea.
is it Red Chili Bikes or is it Chili Bikes? What is it?
It's Red Chili Bikes.
Red Chili Bikes.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
even
really
more
like.
spicy.
I like the name. Yeah.
It doesn't go very well yet, but
Yeah, I will get to know it.
But hey,
Yeah.
with a name like Red Chili Bikes, can go wrong next season.
Exactly. I think it will be good. Yeah, I think it's nice bikes. So that's a good start.
For sure, that's the most important. So, hey, thank you very much, Ida, for your appearance on the show, and best
Yeah,
of luck with the future. We'll meet again in
Thank you.
2026.
I'm
No
sure
doubt.
we will. Yeah, that's good. Thanks for having me.
thank
Yeah.
you. Hi everyone. Now it's just me hosting the episode for part 2 of the episode. I think this one is lately a bit more involved in track. Hi, Julie.
Hi, there I am again.
Yeah. I don't think you need to introduce yourself since you've already been here. But yeah, how are you? How are you doing?
Good. Yeah,
Mm.
I'm good.
Well, that's nice. Since you don't need to introduce yourself, which means you've already been here, can you tell us what happened since the last time you were on the podcast, which
A lot.
was the beginning of January?
Yeah, a lot. I made a step back to Schijndel.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I went to the Euros. And yeah, I don't know. It happened a lot, but in a good way.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's really nice. And also I think a positive note to end the season on. You're ending up with a contract for next year. Well, this year it hasn't been easy for many riders to find a contract. Yeah, how are you feeling about it?
Uh, really, really happy. It was quite unexpected, and I don't know, the talk with the team was really good, and yeah, I didn't know that I will sign a contract already, but I'm really looking forward, so I'm super happy.
And well, let's go to back to this season for a little bit. Do you have a favorite moment of the season if you can pick one?
Yeah, then well, the Euros on the track.
Mm-hmm.
First, I didn't know that I was even able to ride there, and then I was yeah, then I got the opportunity, and then I don't know, we became second in the medicine with Lisa. But for myself on the elimination, I became fourth, and in the scratch, I don't know, 9 or 10. But it was quite unexpected and super nice to be there, and
Mm-hmm.
especially after that shitty year. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that was
Yeah.
my proudest moment. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, it should. It's really cool after such a year that you can go to one of the biggest stages in the sport and do these cool things. Something you're most thankful for this year?
Yeah. Good one. I think I'm not, I think just for my family or something, not really specific in cycling, just that they still support me, after everything. Yeah, it's quite normal, but still, I'm really
Mm-hmm.
thankful for that. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good support system is super important. And then back to next year to just close off the road chapter for a bit. You're obviously joining the coolest team of the peloton. Do you have any certain ambitions already, or what's the plan?
Well, I don't know. I just wanna, I just wanna ride again, and
Mm-hmm.
I talk with them and about the road cycling, but also the track because I
Mm-hmm.
still want to show myself on the track.
Yeah.
Um, so I want to do both, but I don't know what's gonna happen with the track, as in if I got any chances to that. Because we have a quite strong track team, so it's
Yeah.
gonna be hard to be in there. Um, so I don't know. They don't give me any pressure, so
Mm-hmm.
that's nice, and I just wanna make steps again, and I wanna show myself in the races. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, last year I didn't race that much on the road, so I don't know how I am next year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna be a
Yeah.
surprise for for me as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Trust the process.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Okay, so then let's go a bit more into your comfort zone at the moment, the track. We've talked about a quite successful Euros you've had this year, but right now it's also quite a busy period for you and other track cyclists. Most people would think, okay, championships are done. It's cyclocross time now, but that's not really exactly it, right?
No. I went to London 2 weeks ago. The 3 days of London, which was really nice experience. Sadly, I crashed, so I didn't went that good those 3 days. And then I went to Copenhagen. That went really good. We became third at the final day, and in the GC, so that was quite good. And I don't know, there were some really good days. And Friday and Saturday I ride in Ghent. So I'm really excited for that. And then the 6 days of Rotterdam and all the nationals are coming. So it's quite busy, but yeah, I know I really like it. So I really missed it.
Super good, and then it's so busy. What is it like to race these types of events? Because I can imagine it's not like any track event, the 3 days and those kind of races.
Well, for me, it was the first time that I was riding in Copenhagen and London. But it's really nice, and I don't know, the medicine, I really like the medicine. So yeah, I really enjoy it. I
Yeah.
don't know what to say about it, but it's really nice.
Mhm. And like, what makes these races like kind of different from like Euros, for example? What are like the big differences between those?
Well, there's no jersey at the end. But I don't know, I think it's less serious than the championships. Um so I guess that yeah, it's really nice, it's fun, and you learn some new people, but at the end it's just a race and not something really big. So yeah.
Can you like try to explain the structure? Like a bit like for the women, it's kind of complicated because at the one race you really have a race like in duos, and the other one it's just a solo competition. But like, can you let's say the standard format, like almost like just like the standard format.
Like sort of GC, you mean
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, now with the 3 days, it was like you had some in the feed. I can't say the word though. But some other races for yourself. And you get points for that, and all that points made a class. Yeah, like the end results. And then now in Copenhagen, there was like the last medicine, 80 laps, and then at the end all the points, or you gain a lap. Then that's why we became third, because in points we didn't had that much, but we gained a lap, and then suddenly we became third. Yeah, but I don't know if that's the structure. I don't know what I'm even saying, but I think you
Yeah,
mean
yeah,
that. Okay.
yeah. That's cool. I like what types of events. So as you mentioned, like you did the medicine, but what types of other events are involved?
We did a scratch and an elimination. Also the elimination in the medicine, which is crazy. And I didn't like that, but just because you were two, so what I'm thinking, my partner may be not thinking. So then it's like sometimes it gives me like a big error. Like,
Yeah.
so that's not my favorite. We did the longest lap but I can do that also. So that was, it's nice though, but it's nice when you're good at it, and I'm not good at it. Yeah, and just the medicine. So there were like the races, and in London we did a Danny race, which was also really really nice. But yeah, it depends on which organization wants to do the races. So yeah.
Yeah, so quite some, let's say, non-typical track events you see back at Worlds, or for example. But there's always, there is also quite a big difference between, for example, you have London and Copenhagen who like do, let's say, the full format for the women, and then you have other places like Ghent who do just, it's solo, and you do an elimination and a points race. On both days, what do you hope to? Do you think like the change of structure is good, or would you like to see like it's more unified as you see with the man, that it's like the same of, or at least in the same kind of structure?
It's nice when like Ghent or Rotterdam are doing the same. But I don't know. I think it's growing. So I think in a couple of years we're doing also maybe Ghent or Rotterdam also the medicine. But I asked one time, and then they were like, yeah, not all women can do medicine, which is maybe a bit true, but we need to, everyone is learning, so everyone can do that. It's just some people are really good at it, and some people need to practice more, but it's, I don't know, it's not a reason to not do a medicine. So I hope in the future they will have more women medicines. But I think, I don't know, in Ghent it's always like this. And now Rotterdam is doing 6 days, which is super cool. So maybe that's just their their image. Like, so I hope in the future that we have medicine, because it's really nice, but I don't know.
Yeah. The quote, "some women can do medicine," already triggers me, because I think if you ask certain male writers, they also maybe won't excel as much in medicine.
Yeah.
It also depends on who you ask, I think, but that's just quite a lame statement.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
harder maybe to like really fit like like another race like that takes up that much space or something. I feel like that might be harder. And maybe also, I think if you do it like more like the medicine thing, you also need to find a bigger field of competitors. If we, for example, look to, I think, 12 women starting again, then that's not enough to do something like that, I think. Yeah, but the statements, we also get the statement from the UCI, women can do 200 kilometers. And I don't know who says that. Where does it come from?
I don't know. It is also with because the men medicine are 200 laps.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, one time I read like women can't do that also, but sometimes I see men that's also not really good at 200 medicine. But yeah, I think it's like every land, every country has its own like technique.
Technique, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe the Dutchies and the Belgian riders and some other good countries are really good at medicine, but there are a lot of countries that everyone can do a medicine, but it's just how your technique is going. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think they need to do that. I think a lot of women want to do that. So maybe for Ghent or Rotterdam, there's a lot of girls that want to do that. But I don't know if the Ghent 6 days are that nice for women at that track because it's really small. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that really nice, but yeah.
Some space to grow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's go back to how such an event is for you. What does a typical day or more evening look like for you during such an event?
How my evening looks?
Yeah, how like the day, the evening, like in terms of recovery, preparation, all that stuff, like kind of take us through your day and evening.
Okay. Well, those races are quite late. So,
Mm-hmm.
first I want to sleep long and then we have some breakfast. In Denmark, we did in the afternoon coffee and some cake. And then I went on the track to ride, or I'm gonna go on the rollers or not. It just depends how I feel. And then go back to the hotel and have some dinner. And then back to the track, and then the race is already started. I'm not a big fan of having a really good or a long warming up, especially on those events. That's just, I'm not doing a whole warming up. I'm just warm up a bit, and then race, and then after the race is a recovery shake, and then some food, and then sleep. Hopefully, sleep really early, but that's not my bingo list this year. So sometimes I slept at 2 hours or 3. And then in Denmark, there was so much light in the room. So every day I woke up at 7:30 and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm awake. And I slept 5 hours. So nice.
Not ideal if you need to race again the next day.
Yeah. So now the whole week I was really tired. I said to my mom, I really need my sleep.
So, you just mentioned like you don't really like the long warm-ups, but is there anything else like in the preparation that's different compared to another track race or road race?
Not really, actually. I'm just on the big events. I've a real warming up, so then I'm quite strict, and then I really need to do my warming up. But on those events, I'm just having fun. So now for training, I really need to do some long rides, but sometimes it's not really going really well. This week I didn't do a long ride, so that's a bit shit. But normally I just do my training, what my trainer said. Not really special, not different.
Okay. Well, something else. What's the absolute best thing about these events? What do you love most about it?
I think all the people that's watching, and I think about Ghent, it's like really nice that all people stay when women are riding. Last year in Rotterdam, it was also quite busy, quite crowded with our races. So I think I love that the most, and people that's just gonna watch you riding around. So that's really nice. I think the people, yeah.
Yeah, that's indeed quite nice. A big part of, let's say, the attention still being there for the women is, of course, Kopecky is riding every year. And something I find always quite impressive is that the 6 days will always be the race where they cheer the loudest for the women compared to literally everything, which is always super nice to see. Lotte Kopecky also made her comeback last week, which looked I was there in person, quite impressive. You'll be competing against her as Stenberg, against Stenberg as well. What are the ambitions for the weekend?
Just follow. No, I'm really happy that she's making her comeback and that she's doing well with Lotte. But less nice for me because now I need to summer again. No, it's really nice. And also, Shari is riding also.
Yeah.
Right? So she's riding also really fast. So it's going to be a hard 2 days. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just... I don't really have ambitions. The last time I was there, I was already sick. So I just hope that I'm a little bit more Julie again, which I'm on the good way, but still that's like the track that I left sick. So quite, I don't know, I have some feelings about it, but it's really nice to be back. So yeah. Don't have big ambitions. I hope I ride good.
Yeah. I can imagine that must feel quite special for you then to go race there again.
Yeah. I'm at least happy that there's just a gear that everyone needs to have. Yeah, you can go lighter but not bigger. So maybe that's my saving for this year. No, but I don't know. I'm really excited.
Yeah. Well, yeah, before I'm gonna ask you the last question, I do need to add some latest news in. This time I'll keep the best thing for the last. First off, we have Premier Tech, who quit as a sponsor of Team Israel. Premier Tech, on the men's side, of course, is joining Saint Michel, both the women's and the men's team, which might also be an explanation on how Saint Michel could afford Alison Jackson, I would say. Then there was something else. I forgot. Lorena Wiebes had an accident. Yeah, not on training, but on a bike ride. She's okay, but yeah, it's a bit sad because it shows how, drivers sometimes can be just leaving someone else on the road. That's not something we like to see. And then, as promised, save best for last, Mieke Dox has found a team and signed a contract with DAS. They are a Conti team next year, but they're hoping to step up to Pro Conti in 2027 so they can be at the start of the tour in Great Britain. Mieke is still trying to find a job to combine it with. But first of all, very good that Mieke has found a contract and she can keep going in cycling. I think we're only waiting for the announcement of Lotte Klaas. For example, I think Clara Koppenberg is staying in gravel. So yeah, but don't leave too much. She rides riders without a contract, which is super nice to see. And then we will really round this off. It's not December yet, so it might be a little bit early, but apart from like being Julie again, what can I wish you for 2026?
I just hope more luck.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really lucky to have a new team. But I just I don't know. If I stay healthy, then I'm happy.
Yeah. Health is always the most important thing. And a bit of luck as well. Can also be very nice.
Yeah.
Well,
I hope so.
thanks again for being here. Yeah, again on She Writes. It was super nice to talk to you again. Well, yeah, I think I and probably Christoph as well wish you all the luck for right now, actually, but for 26 as well. That's a wrap for episode 51 of She Writes. A huge thanks to both Julie and Ida for sharing their incredible story. Hope you enjoyed the ride. Make sure to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or YouTube so you don't miss an episode. And if you liked today's show, a rating, like, or comment really helps us reach more listeners. Follow us on Blue Sky and Instagram for behind-the-scenes updates. Don't forget to check out our other episodes as well. Thanks for listening to She Rides, where women cycling takes the lead. Keep watching the fun, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.